Dear friends, good morning. In the last class, we have learned about that single phase full converter, resistive load, RL load with the freewheeling diode. And we have come to know that output voltage will be negative when this output voltage there is having a negative swing in the output voltage when we connect this inductive load. We have already learned for half wave full converter as well as full wave converter as well. So then in this main thing behind this our single phase full converter is when we connect RLE load, when we connect not RLE load, what happen there is having it after alpha greater than 90 degree, output voltage will be negative. That means power will flow from load to source. If you go through some of the books, everything you can clearly understand. In an RLE load, output power will flows from load to source. That means for the regenerative action only, we can make this. It is called as regenerative action. From mission to source, power will flow since the current direction will be reverse. So that it is called as inverting operation. So that in this time the rectifier will act as an inverter. But in RLE load, if we use this thyristor as the switching power switching element, inverting operation is very difficult. Reason is we need to apply some forced commutation. Already we know the thyristor will switch off by natural commutation. We have to apply some forced commutation. Then only we can switch off the thyristor, so that we will get some AC supply. So it is very difficult. Then so that then rectifier after alpha greater than 90 degree for RLE load, it will be treated as inverting mode of rectifier, inverting mode of full converter. So I am planning to include this RLE load after completing this entire control of full converter and what are the power electronic circuits are available. After completing entire things, I am planning to give a lecture for RLE load simulations for electric drives as a part of electric drives. That time I will explain very clearly. So that then another one, due to that even though if we are using RL load at an angle of 90 degree, positive and negative voltages are more or less same. That is why average output voltage will be 0. So normally if we are using RL load in full converter, or as long as inductance value is increasing, average output voltage will reduce, positive output voltage will reduce. So in order to avoid that, people have introduced semi-converter. The semi-converter is having two types of converter: asymmetrical configuration and symmetrical configuration. In this lecture, I am going to explain about symmetrical configuration of semi-converter. So what is by symmetrical configuration? I am just collecting all the information whatever we have learned already through the books. We have upper half having two thyristor and lower half amps having two diodes. So we can call it as left side thyristor as T1, right side thyristor is T2, diode left side thyristor D1 and right side will be D2. So during positive off cycle, we have to give the firing pulses to the thyristor T1. So there is no lower thyristors. No, only a positive off cycle thyristor T1 will be switched on and thyristor T2 will be switched on during the negative off cycle. So thyristor T1 will be forward bias during positive off cycle. So thyristor T1 and D2 will be forward bias. Then thyristor for positive off cycle. Then thyristor T2 and D1 will be forward bias during the negative off cycle. So this is the normal case. So for resistive load, as like a full converter, we will get output voltage. Since we have in our one control circuit itself, we have one control switch. In previous cases, two switch in one cycle, but here only one switch. Whether one switch or two switch, we will get controlled output. So the waveform will be as like full converter for R load in semi-converter. Whatever may be, that is asymmetrical configuration or symmetrical configuration. As I am explaining today, symmetrical configuration, so that output voltage will be same as full converter. Okay. Then when we connect RLE load, what will happen? Inductor will store energy. So at a very zero crossing, inductor will, after zero crossing, there is no supply from that source. So inductor will start to release the energy. So the polarity of the output voltage will be negative. Polarity of the output voltage will be negative. Voltage across the inductor will be negative. So if you see the circuits, already T1 is forward bias. Since the inductor is there, inductor is a current, acts as a high current source, right? So thyristor current will not be go below the holding current, so that we cannot switch off the thyristor. Already thyristor T1 will be in forward bias. So but D1, so T1 and D1, due to the negative value of this thyristor, negative and positive, D1 will be forward bias. So that voltage across that energy stored in that inductor will be released through T1 and D1. Due to that, voltage across the load will be zero. Voltage across the load will be zero. Then similarly, negative off cycle, T2 and D1 will be forward bias. Then after negative off cycle, for during the zero, after the zero crossing to go positive off cycle, that time there is no supply from this. At the same time, due to the energy stored in the inductor, thyristor T2 and D2 will be forward bias, so that it will freewheel through this diode and the thyristor. Due to that, output voltage will be zero. So due to this, for full converter, normally output voltage, if alpha is greater than 90 degree, output voltage we will call it as negative for RLE load. So we can control only 0 to 90 degree. But at the same time, here RLE load also, whatever may be the load, we can vary the output voltage from 0 to 190 degree. Firing angle we can vary from 0 to 190 degree. Always average output voltage will be more. So this is the advantages of semi-converter. That is why people for considering the disadvantages of full converter, people have introduced the semi-converter. So this is all about semi-converter. Let me share my screen so that you can understand how I have done the simulation of semi-converter. See, this is the semi-converter. As I already told you that thyristor T1 is here. I have given this input voltage and the source current also I am measuring. Here I have connected source current, and then firing pulses I have given to this thyristor separately. Firing pulse I have given to this thyristor separately. So this is T1, T2, then D1, D2. So during positive off cycle, T1 and D2 will be forward bias. Then due to the effect of inductance, this polarity will be negative, and this polarity will be positive. So already thyristor T1 is conducting state. So due to the positive effect, this diode will be also in conducting state. So that it will freewheel through this diode, what is the current flow direction? Load D1, T1, and it will close, so that output voltage will be zero. As thyristor T2 is switched on, there is no provision, even though D2 is forward bias, there is no provision for output volt. There is no provision for that the current flow between T2 and D2. Then during negative off cycle, T2 we will give the firing pulse to the T2. So current flows will be source T2 and load and come back to D1 and return back to the source. But during the zero crossing, there is no supply from that. There is no voltage in the load, so voltage in the source. So inductor, due to the inductive effect, thyristor D2 will be forward bias, so the current will flow through this. So this is the output voltage waveform. Then one more thing I want to share to you. I would like to see this output of thyristor also. So one diode also. For that, I would like to connect one separated diode. Then diode measurements. You can connect here the scope separately also. separately. Go for current flowing through this diode, making it number of axes is 2. Then layout, we can see the 2 layout waveform. Output voltage, I am connecting to, we can measure this thyristor T1 and T2. Similarly, we can connect this D1 as well, D1 current as well, so that you can easily understand what is the current. So I am selecting this 2 diode voltage and diode current, select. And similarly here also select diode voltage and diode current, right? Okay, so now I am going, now here you know already input voltage I have given 50 hertz, 325 peak voltage, that means 230 volt RMS. Then firing pulses for this thyristor I have given for thyristor 45 degree angle. So already I explained well in the previous half wave converter explanation. How I have given period is 0.02, the reason is 1/50, then 45 into 0.02 divided by 360. That is the calculation for 45 degree firing angle. This also same thing, 45 degree firing angle plus 190 plus 45, pi plus alpha. So I have calculated like that and just substitute this. Now let me run the simulation. We will come to know very clearly what all the things are happening. Simulation of bus bar is not connected, so sorry, one more. Additionally I have connected one bus, I have pasted one bus bar. So now see, now output voltage waveform. So now here this is the input voltage waveform. Then firing pulses, blue, that yellow color is for thyristor T1, blue color is for thyristor T2. So then current flowing through the thyristor T1, here it will be current is flowing, since after that inductive load, that is why some current will flow till this will be over. So see that voltage across the thyristor will be till that forward bias. See, it's a forward bias, that is why voltage across the thyristor will be 0. You can see here. Then the negative half cycle will start. Therefore, thyristor T1 will be reverse bias. So you can, I have not shown for thyristor T2. Thyristor T2, just T2 will be 180 degree shift. That's all. Then you can connect your own and you can understand. Then current flowing to the thyristor T2 will be 0, T1 will be 0. Then T1 again it will be firing pulse we have given. So till that it will be forward blocking state. Whatever we have learned, same thing it will be continued. So this is a source current. As long as we are changing inductance and alpha value accordingly, the shape of the input current, source current will also change accordingly. Harmonics will be there. Now this is the continuous conduction mode. Then that is why current is always there. Current is always it will be on. Then this is for outload voltage of this thyristor T1 and thyristor T1 and D2. Then thyristor T1 and D1, T1 and D2. Then thyristor T2 and D1. Again thyristor T1 and D2, like that. So in between, in this region where we can see thyristor T1 and D1 will be forward bias after positive half cycle. Here thyristor T2 and D2 will be conducting and freewheel. It will be act as a freewheeling. That is why we are not getting any output voltage swing, negative swing in the output voltage. Then we can see here similarly that diode current. See now during the positive half cycle, thyristor will conduct. Diode current will be there. D1 will be there. Then it will be 0. The negative half cycle D2 will be there. It will be 0. So this is negative. It is due to that impact of this inductance values. Then this is the output voltage across this voltage across the diode will be reverse bias. For this is for diode D2. Then diode D1 you can see here. Diode D1. Again, it will be reverse bias during D1, right? D1 reverse bias. That is why negative half cycle will be 0. But at the same time, current flowing through this will be there. Current flowing through will be forward bias till this. The reason is here that freewheeling. Here the freewheeling of this diode. You can see due to the inductive effect, this shape is due to the freewheeling of T. This is for D1, right? Therefore, T1 and D1. current flowing through the T1 and D1. If you see here, thyristor, for example, here I have connected the current voltage thyristor. Here I have connected, the voltage and the current flowing through the thyristor T1. If you see here, current will be continuously, it will flow for thyristor. See, this is the shape T1, will be continuously flow. That is why D1 also there is having a D1 output, D1 also having the shape of current due to the freewheeling of T1 and D1. Similarly, this case due to the freewheeling of T2 and D2, T2 and D2. So that is why this current shape is like that. Remaining time as like that normal current waveform. So this is the entire system for full semi converter. So let me now just I am reducing this inductance value little more, just in order to show you for discontinuous conduction. This is for continuous conduction. Why it is continuous conduction? Here current is always continuous, load current. Discontinuous conduction, for discontinuous conduction, either I have to reduce this inductance or otherwise I have to increase the firing angle. So now I am reducing this inductance value for 30 millihenry. So now let me run the simulation. That time we can see some discontinuity started. See, some discontinuity started. So in order to make it little more very clear, I am making 15 millihenry. So when I connect this 15 millihenry, you can see here, see, this is the discontinuity. This is the discontinuity will be there. Discontinuity will be there. The load current, see the load current, there is a discontinuity. So this is the way of analyzing and understanding the waveform of, similarly we can see some diode also there is some discontinuity. See, the freewheel will be over within this period, then discontinuity, there is no freewheeling, then again diode will start to conduct during the next cycle. So accordingly the output voltage waveform and current will be. I hope with this I am planning to conclude today's presentation. I hope you understood what concept behind this. Then if you have any doubts, kindly test that messages to the comment box, so that accordingly I can, this is a learning process actually. Due to that inductance study of a full converter, I got many feedback, and I thought of teaching more about that inductive due to that comment of few people only, due to one of the Mr. Ravi of assistant professor of SRM University, Chennai, Tamil Nadu. He has discussed with me about his opinion. Accordingly only I have explained well today about what happened with this inductive effect. For inductive effect with RLE load inverting operation, I will explain separate thing after completing all the power electronics lecture under electric drive. So I hope it is very helpful. Those who have understood the concept and like this channel, kindly subscribe it, kindly comment on it, and give some feedback. Your feedback is valuable to me, so that I can correct myself. All our teaching learning process. Wish you all the best. Thank you.